Hi there, and welcome to this Astranti Student Survey Response video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some responses from students who took the May 2021 Operational Case Study exam. We think that these responses are going to give you some helpful insight into what to expect and how to prepare for your own case study exam. Firstly, let's take a look at how these students found the difficulty level of their exam. As you can see on screen, we've separated our student responses into those that came from Astranti students and those that came from non-Astranti students. As you can also see, non-Astranti students, which is shown on the right, were evenly split when it came to the exam difficulty. So 50% of the students said the exam was easier or was as they expected, while 50% said it was either more difficult or much more difficult than they expected. On the other hand, only 40% of Astranti students found the exam was more difficult than they expected, with 60% finding it easier or as expected. So generally it seems that Astranti students actually had a slightly easier time on average with this case study level. So the next thing we asked the students about was what they thought went well in their exams. The first thing you may notice from the bar charts on screen is that regardless of whether the student found the exam easy, hard or as expected, a large percentage of the students said they felt their theory knowledge was something that went really well, which reminds us just how essential understanding the core topics at OCS will be for your exam. We can also see that time management was something that many students thought went well, although significantly more students who found the exam easier or as expected brought this up than those students who actually found the exam more difficult. And that seems to imply that managing your time well could be a crucial difference between a pass and a fail at OCS. One other key insight here is that students who found the exam easier or as expected said that they thought their mock practice and question interpretation went well, whereas those who found the exams difficult didn't say that quite so much. This might be an area to focus on then if you want to boost those extra marks. When we asked the students what they thought could have gone better in their exams, we can see again that time management was a big priority, regardless of whether the students struggled with the exam or not. Similarly, theory remains just as important, which may seem obvious, but it just goes to show how essential it really is. Many students also express a desire to improve their understanding of the pre-scene, their interpretation of the question, and the amount that they planned their answers, so these would also be a great place to start for practicing for your own exam. Lastly, the low results in the lower half of the chart show that most students felt pretty confident with their industry knowledge, their typing skill, their confidence and their mock practice. You may have your own level of skill in each of these areas, but the survey seems to show that they may be of less importance to your grade than ensuring you really know your theory and make time to answer the questions properly. So after that, we asked the students what they would spend more time revising if they had to do the exam again. And we can see again a repeat of our previous trends. So I cannot stress enough how important preparing your theory knowledge and time management will be when you take your OCS exam. Other areas students would recommend focusing on include practicing mock exams, again planning the structure of your answer, and even ensuring your typing speed is up to scratch. Now that last one may depend on how confident you already are with typing, as we saw in a previous chart that a lot of students said they were fairly satisfied with how fast they typed, so take that one as it applies to you. Finally, we asked the students what they would have spent less time revising. And a large proportion of these students would recommend not spending too much time on your industry and pre-scene analysis. After all, the pre-scene will be available during your exam, and industry examples tend to be a great way to get extra marks rather than making up the foundation of passing the case study in the first place. So, let's think about some key takeaways from this student survey. Firstly, you should always review your understanding of the theory. You also need to ensure that you're prepared to manage your time well and know how to successfully plan your answers. A great way to practice all of these is by making the most of the mock exams you have available, as these are going to help you be as prepared as possible for exam day. So, that's all from me. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video.